First at noon, taking the plane down was intentional. That's what investigators are saying about the co-pilot who apparently locked the pilot out of the cockpit. New information from the plane's voice recorder has given investigators their strongest clues yet about why the Germanwings airliner crashed in the French Alps, killing 150 people on board. CBS 4's Walter McCullough has been following the investigation and joins us live with the latest developments. Walter?
Well, Elliot, that voice recorder helped put together two missing pieces to the puzzle. First, it appears the co-pilot left inside the cockpit while the pilot used the restroom, deliberately took the plane down. And secondly, he was conscious at the time the plane made impact. A French prosecutor says the co-pilot of the Germanwings plane intentionally crashed it into a mountainside in southern France. Investigators say the cockpit voice recorder reveals the co-pilot asked to take the controls, and the captain apparently left the cockpit and went to the restroom. Minutes later, knocking is heard, lightly at first, and then someone tries to break down the cockpit door to get in. French authorities saying the co-pilot locking the pilot out was no mistake, but rather
voluntary. He refused to open the door, and he turned the button to get down the plane.
The prosecutor adds the co-pilot manually set the plane's doomed trajectory and manipulated the controls to accelerate the descent of the aircraft. He says the voice recorder also tells them near the end, passengers were aware of their impending peril.
I reckon that the victims only became aware of what was going on at the very last moment. Let me finish. Because on the tape, the sound that we're hearing, the screams are only in the very last moments before impact.
The deadly drop took 8 minutes and killed all 150 people on board. Pressure is mounting for chopper crews to recover the remains of 150 victims from the steep mountains and rugged terrain. Among the dead, Pentagon contractor Yvonne Selke and her daughter Emily. Both were from Virginia and were in Europe for a mother-daughter vacation. A third American was also on board.
We are in touch with the family, but are not releasing the name at this time out of respect for the family.
Some relatives of the victims boarded buses in Barcelona on their way to France. Airline authorities say they'll take the families to the closest point possible to see the crash site for themselves. And officials at Lufthansa, the parent company of Germanwings, says that the captain had more than 6,000 hours of flying time. The co-pilot, 28-year-old Andreas Lubitz, joined the airline in September of 2013 and after training had flown 630 hours. Reporting live, Walter McCullough, CBS 4 News.
Walter, thank you, and stay with CBS 4 News and CBSMiami.com for continuing coverage of the deadly plane crash in the Alps.